Nowadays, while other countries are busy building structures and roads, China is quietly creating its own miracles. Bridges that cross between mountains, ships that create islands, and machines that can bore through mountains as if they were just drilling through wood. This is no longer just about construction. This is a revolution of machines. Over the past few decades, China has gradually changed the way infrastructure is built and constructed, using engineering monsters that can do the job faster, more precisely, and better. From four-arm drilling rigs to cranes that can lift hundreds of tons, each machine is proof of the speed, intelligence, and ambition of a nation ready to change the future of construction. So in this video, let's discover together some of the most powerful construction machines in China that have truly amazed the whole world. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. This is a big help for us content creators. Thank you very much, and now let's get started. 4. Boomface Drilling Rig. While other countries are busy building simple construction equipment, China is already playing at a different level. One proof of this is their unique machine that acts like a monster underground, the 4 Boomface Drilling Rig. Just by its appearance, it looks like a robot from a sci-fi movie. 4 arms move simultaneously to bore through the mountain and create a tunnel. This type of machine was created by Chinese companies like Boomface and Tian, and it has a unique system. Instead of just one drill, it has 4 independent arms that simultaneously bore through the rock. While other countries make 1 hole per pass, this one makes 4, finishing the job much faster. The machine uses what's called the blast hole drilling method. First, it makes deep holes in the rock using sharp drill bits. Afterwards, explosives are placed in the holes to break up the hard parts of the rock. After the explosion, the machine will clean up the crushed rocks before starting again. The process repeats until the tunnel is finished. But speed isn't the only benefit of the 4 Boomface drilling rig. It's also automated. There's no need for a driver to manually move each arm. It has a pre-programmed system that can drill an entire section of the tunnel with almost no human assistance. The operator's job? Just to monitor and make sure. Monitor the machine to ensure all movements are orderly during operation, and each hole is measured precisely. And this isn't just for horizontal tunnels. There's also a version from China that can drill vertically from top to bottom to create vertical mine shafts. Its compact design fits perfectly in tight underground spaces where almost no other machine can fit. In short, the 4 Boomface drilling rig is a symbol of the speed, precision, and strategy of Chinese engineers. While other countries are still struggling with manual drilling, China already has a machine that can do the work of 4 people, all at once, accurately, and nearly non-stop. SLJ 900-302 Iron Monster. If machines can build roads, there's also one that constructs bridges as it moves. This is the SLJ 932, also known as China's Iron Monster. This is not an ordinary vehicle. At almost 300 feet long, it looks like a giant insect crawling through the air while building something behind it. It wasn't made to run on the road, but to finish. The Iron Monster was specially designed to assemble bridges in the air. It can cling to both sides of the bridge, lift a huge section of the bridge deck, and push it into the right position. Then, it lowers it exactly between the 2 piers, like a giant puzzle piece being slotted in with perfect timing. In regular construction, cranes do this job, but the process is slow. They can only lift 1 at a time, and it takes many days or weeks to finish a single section. The Iron Monster, on the other hand, can carry up to 950 tons in a single pass. That means a larger section of the bridge can be attached in a much shorter time. Its engineering is truly impressive. While half of its body is hanging in the air, it relies only on precise balance and the strength of the materials to keep it from collapsing. That's why every movement of the machine, from anchoring to lifting, is programmed and controlled within just a few centimeters of error margin. China built this monster as a solution to the problem of building bridges in mountainous and dangerous areas, where it's almost impossible to bring in large cranes. Instead of waiting for weeks, the iron monster can bridge the gaps between mountains in just a few days. It's no wonder why it's called a road, Iron Monster, because this is the iron giant that literally builds the bridges connecting all of China. Motor vessel, Tian Kunhao. When we hear the word ship, we usually think of fishing, cargo, or warships. But this ship from China has a different mission: to create land in the middle of the sea. This is called motor vessel Tian Kunhao, or more popularly known as the Island Maker. This is not an ordinary ship. It's a gigantic machine that can dig up the seabed and pile it up to create a new piece of land. Its front features a long, sturdy arm with a rotating cutter head. This is what digs at the very bottom of the ocean, while powerful pumps simultaneously suck up the sand and rocks. It can dig 35 meters deep and discharge sand up to 9 miles away. With this kind of power, it can create a new island in just a few months. This was something that used to be impossible for any country. But why is China building islands? According to some experts, this has a lot to do with territorial disputes in the sea. Between Japan, Vietnam, and the Philippines, there are areas being disputed because of mineral and oil resources. That's why it's believed that China is using ships like the motor vessel Tian Kunhao to build artificial islands and claim the surrounding seas as their own. In other words, every shovelful of sand poured out by this ship is not just a simple project. It's a statement of power. And when it comes to engineering, there's no doubt this is one of the best and most powerful ships in the world. From the sea to the sky, China is showing that it's ready to change not just the map, but the very shape of the world itself. XTC-85 Trench Cutter. If there's a need to dig for a building's foundation, engineers in China don't immediately use machines. And in this category, nothing beats the XTC-85 Trench Cutter, the giant excavator built for heavy-duty underground work. This machine has 2 massive cutting wheels attached to the end of a vertical frame. When lowered into the ground, the 2 wheels rotate in opposite directions. It can cut through sand, rock, and concrete at the same time. While it operates, water is circulated underneath to keep the blades cool and prevent overheating. At the same time, the pump sucks up the mixture of mud and sand like a vacuum absorbing the liquefied soil. But the true strength of the XTC-85 is not just in its speed, but in its precision or perfectly straight digging. Even if the ground is slippery or muddy, the trench remains straight. He digs because the frame's weight and gravity help. So even on hard rocks or slippery clay, it doesn't stumble or go off course. Construction teams in China use this trench cutter for deep foundation projects, especially in places where an ordinary backhoe can't reach. And because it can work in mud, rock, or wet soil, it's one of the most reliable machines in the country. In fact, it's not just simple, it's a precision tool designed to create strong foundations in any type of soil. And in a country as fast as China when it comes to infrastructure, every hole dug by the XTC-85 is literally preparation for the next giant building of the future. Suihara de destafelito de Mazda Wespou Terrible, the prize a las Reina Miriam. 8,800 crawler crane from China, the largest self-propelled crane in the world. At first, it appears to be a steel monster. It has a length of up to 173 meters and a height of over 108 meters. It's even bigger than those on the crawlers used for rocket transport. It's impressive not just for its size, but also its power. It can lift loads of up to 4,000 tons. And in some cases, it has even been used to lift a 4,500-ton Kodi. That means it can lift the equivalent of more than 600 adult elephants. in a single lift. This kind of strength is possible because of the two main parts of the crane. First, the crane system itself, which is made up of boom arms and a control cabin. And second, the counterweight section, which serves as a balance for every movement. Its counterweight weighs as much as two mothers. That's 600 tons. Meanwhile, the entire machine has a total weight of 5,400 tons. Because it's so big, it has its own operator cabin that's almost the size of a small office. It even has air conditioning. The operator here doesn't just bring work. He's like the captain of a ship flying on land. This crane was made for projects where an ordinary crane just isn't enough, like large plants, oil refineries, or mega bridge construction. And because it's self-propelled, it doesn't need another vehicle to tow it. It can move on its own power every time it lifts at the exits. It can do it on its own power, and these are the caps. And these are caps, not a strategy. China Railway Engineering Corporation, 1,459 mega slurry TBM. While other countries are still mining or tunneling using old and slow technology, China has built a giant machine that can literally eat a mountain underground. This is the China Railway Engineering Corporation, 1,459 mega slurry tunnel boring machine, one of the largest and most advanced TBMs in the world. This gigantic drill was made by China Railway Engineering Equipment and has a diameter of almost 16 meters, as big as a 5-story building. Its sole purpose is to create wide underground tunnels quickly and precisely, even through the hardest rock. This particular unit was made for the Western Harbour Tunnel project in Australia, where it will build a bi-directional road tunnel connecting Camaret and Rosetta. That's why it needs not just strength, but also intelligence and precision. The machine has a built-in intelligent cutter monitoring system. It can automatically detect which of the blades are wearing out while drilling. And if it needs to be replaced, there's no need for a person to go inside the machine. There's a robotic arm that will automatically remove and replace the cutter with a new one. Safe, fast, and with no downtime. It also has its own data acquisition system. It gathers information about pressure, turbulence, and drilling speed. These data are used to plan the next direction and avoid mistakes while drilling underground. The China Railway Engineering Corporation, 1,459, is not only one of the largest slurry TBMs in the world, but also one of the smartest and most reliable. It can work continuously underground for months with almost no rest, while measuring every movement precisely to the millimeter. With every turn of its massive blades, tunnels are gradually formed that will connect cities, countries, and the future of modern transportation. It's proof that even underground, China still has the deepest technology. XCMG Road Cold Recycling Machine. While other countries are just repeating their old methods of road construction, China has its own strategy, recycling damaged roads themselves. And the star here is the XCMG Road Cold Recycling Machine, a machine that's like a combination of a crusher, mixer, and paver all in one body. At first glance, it looks a bit unusual, but every part has a purpose. Its purpose is to recycle old roads in a way that's fast, cost-effective, and eco-friendly. This is the process. First, using a powerful rotating rotor, the machine removes the old asphalt or cement from the road and breaks it into large pieces. Afterwards, these pass through the crushing unit, where the broken parts are pulverized and turned into small granules. But it doesn't end there. These pieces are mixed inside the machine, together with new materials like water, cement, lime, or binding agents to become a solid road mixture again. After being properly mixed, the machine lays it back on the road, straight and even, wet and ready to be hardened. And all of that happens in just one pass. The beauty of this is not just its speed. First, it's environmentally friendly. There's no need to get new gravel or sand from nature. Second, it's cost-effective because old materials are reused instead of pouring new ones. And third, it can finish the whole process with just one machine, which used to require 3 or 4 pieces of equipment. So instead of destroying and throwing away the old ones, China is turning old roads into new ones. Fast, economical, and environmentally friendly. A clear example of how the country is able to combine engineering and sustainability in a single project. Clay Emperor. In the rivers and lakes of China, there's a machine that looks like an ordinary dredger, but when it operates, it's like a multi-tool for a giant engineer. This is the Clay Emperor, an amphibious multi-purpose dredger made by the company Shandongho Hydraging Equipment. This isn't just an ordinary dredger for digging up mud. The Clay Emperor is designed to do the work of 5 machines in one. It can suck up sand underwater, cut aquatic weeds, drive posts underwater, hammer piles, and use backhoe dredging when needed. In short, it's China's all-around worker for water projects. And the coolest thing about it is it doesn't need a ship to do its job anymore. The whole machine floats on its own because its body is actually built as a floating platform. It also has a propeller system so it can move on the water's surface, even without the help of other vehicles. It can navigate shallow rivers, estuaries, or inland waterways that large ships can't enter. But even though it's versatile, it's not designed for the sea. It's more suited for shallow waters and rivers, where blockages need to be removed, silt needs to be cleared, or the water flow needs to be managed. Because of its unique design, China patented the Clay Emperor technology so that other countries couldn't copy it. And now it's also being used in different countries as a solution for river maintenance and flood control projects. The Clay Emperor represents more than just engineering. It is also proof of the discipline and practicality of Chinese innovators. A machine that can work quietly, but has a huge impact on the economy and the environment. SR 235W10 Rotary Drilling Rig. For deep excavations and solid foundations, China has one solution: the SR 235W10 Rotary Drilling Rig. This is a massive machine designed to create deep and precise holes in the ground, which will serve as the base for skyscrapers, bridges, and oil wells. At first, it appears to be a tower on crawler tracks. At the very top, it has a large drill head attached to the crawler. Once the machine is in position, it raises the rig upright and slowly rotates it downward, like a giant screw being driven into the ground. As it drills down, a fluid injector system continuously releases liquid around the drill. Its purpose is to keep the drilling area wet and cool, while melting and bringing rocks and mud to the surface. With continuous rotation, it can reach a depth of up to 223 feet. And it does this with quieter operation compared to other drilling methods. The machine is made by SI Global and is known for being fast, durable, and quiet. It can be used even in the middle of the city without disturbing the residents, a big advantage in urban construction. It's not just limited to building foundations. It's also used by the SR 235 Watton for digging water wells, oil exploration, and peeling works. Because of its precision and efficiency, it's one of the most important tools in China's arsenal for modern construction. In a country where almost every week a new building rises, the SR 235W10 is like an unsung hero, quietly laying the foundation for the future. Hydraulic static pile driver. Before, it was necessary to dig first, before a post or foundation could be built, but China changed that with a unique technology called the hydraulic static pile driving machine. This is a very powerful machine that can erect columns without even digging a hole. This is how it works. There's a boom crane on top of the machine that picks up the pile, whether it's made of steel or concrete. Afterwards, the crane lowers the pile to the center of the machine where hydraulic arms hold it tightly. Once the position is stable, the machine uses intense hydraulic pressure to push the post straight down into the ground. It's like pushing a tent stake into sand. It's not just simple force. Because of the intense pressure, the ground gives way on its own, so there's no need to dig anymore. And because a hydraulic system is used, every post driven into the ground is extremely precise and controlled. There's little noise, dust, or vibration. This type of machine has become a game changer for the rapid construction of buildings and bridges. Instead of spending a lot of time digging and cementing, it can build a foundation in just a few minutes. This is also the reason why China can quickly build modular housing and high-rise projects compared to other countries. As part of the new generation of construction equipment, the hydraulic static pile driving machine is a symbol of a clean, fast, and modern way of building structures. It operates quietly, but its impact on the speed of construction is tremendous. Mining road header boring machine. Underground, where there are only rocks and darkness, there's a machine that can dig tunnels as if it's just walking through mud. This is the mining road header boring machine, made by XCMG, one of the leading heavy equipment companies in China. At first glance, it looks unusual, like a cross between a robot and a bulldozer. In front, there's a large rotating drilling head attached to a powerful hydraulic arm. When it operates, the drill spins at a very high speed while the arm pushes it into the rock. It crushes and breaks it down into small pieces. But the real strength of this machine lies in the power of its motor. It can bore through even the hardest rocks in the mine and do it several times faster than manual labor. The work that would take miners several months to finish can be done by this machine in just a few days, sometimes even just a few hours. As the drilling head sweeps through the rock wall, it also immediately removes the crushed parts. That's why the process is non-stop, no failures, just constant work. That's why it's a huge help in underground mining operations, especially in places that are hard for people to access. The mining road header boring machine is clear proof of how far China has come in the field of mining technology. It's not just a piece of machinery. It's a symbol of speed, discipline, and efficiency underground. With the help of machines like this, work that used to take months can now be finished in just one shift. This is how China operates, quiet but fast, heavy but precise. Teeny rectangular TBM. When we hear the words tunnel boring machine, the first thing that comes to mind is round tunnels underground. But in China, there's a machine that can even change the shape of the world underground. This is the teeny rectangular TBM, the machine that bores square tunnels. Its design is different compared to the usual TBM. Instead of a single large circular cutting head, it has several small cutting heads arranged together. These rotate simultaneously to excavate soil and rock, and with each pass it leaves behind a straight and square tunnel. But why do we need a square tunnel? It's simple, it's more practical for certain projects. When the tunnel is round, a lot of soil is wasted. You still need to level the bottom to make the floor even. Whereas if the hole is rectangular, you can use the space right away. No part is wasted, and it's easier to install cables, pipes, and walkways. This kind of design is very useful for utility tunnels, where you need to lay power, water, or internet lines underground. It's also easier to maintain because there's enough space for technicians to enter and work. The rectangular TBM is one of the most important inventions of China in modern urban tunneling. Through this, they are able to build passageways, service lines, and other facilities faster, safer, and more cost-effectively. In the past, underground passageways were all circular, but now the future has a new shape, and that is made by China.